Hey, it's Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom. This is a recording for a wreath kit that we had out. It's for the snow globe style, little different shape sign than we're used to. The kit came with the sign, the zip tie mounts that go in the back of the sign, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. It came with a full roll of Deco Mesh, which I have already pre-cut. I've cut 12 pieces at 20 inches long. So it's 10-inch mesh. It's a 10-yard roll. I have this much left. So 12 pieces at 20 inches long. I'll set this aside because we're done using that, actually. The kit also came with a pancake bundle. So there's a recipe card here, and if you scan this with your computer, with your phone and your camera on your phone, it'll bring you right to another YouTube video where I did a pancake wreath tutorial. So there is the recipe for the 14-inch frame, which is the one we're going to use today, a recipe for the 10-inch frame, which is this one, and then of course there's sign extenders. There's different videos available on our YouTube for those two those two frames as well. I'm also a Sincerely Creative Mom. I also forget my words a whole lot, so I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, they are tacked together for shipping, so if you just push it through, it will come apart. Again, it's intended to be that way. It's intended so that it doesn't break or anything during transit. So the 14-inch frame is what we're going to use. This you can keep. The sign, here's what I would rather you do, or what I would like you to do first. So if you have a staple gun, you don't have to do this because I have a staple gun and we're going to use a staple gun in this video. But the kit itself came with these two zip tie mounts so that I wasn't assuming you had a a staple gun. So what you're going to do is and I would do this right now, you're going to take off the, let me get a clamp so I can show you. You're going to take off this backing here. If you have DAP Rapid Fuse glue or a little bit of extra super glue, I would add a little pea size to the back of this and then stick it on. It just helps for extra hold. If you don't have that, then it's fine. Take the backing off. And because I'm not going to actually use these, but I'm going to show you. So I would take the backing off, stick it at the top. Take the backing off, stick it at the bottom. And I use these clamps. They're from Harbor Freight. It takes me 2 hands to open them. They're pretty strong. And then I would just, while you're making the rest of your wreath, I'm going to push down on that, clamp onto it so it starts to really super grip on the sign. You would probably want to make sure you take off the sticker here as well so it wasn't, your piece wasn't sticking to the sticker. So that's what I would do first. We're going to use, like I said, a staple gun. So I don't need to use those, but if you are using these, do that step first. Okay, so that's to prep the sign. Your kit came with these 3 ribbons that are for your bow, and they're coiled and wrapped. They came just like this. They're coiled and wrapped. So don't cut these. All right, don't cut these, but your other 2 ribbons are for your tails, and they also come wrapped like this, okay? So you need them to be 14 inches. They should be wrapped in 14 inches. Sometimes we do 12. Even if it's a little bit over 14, that's fine. Don't undo it. It's just totally fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the hole here, and you're just going to take your scissors and cut. Okay, don't cut this one, it's for the bow. But for these, they come coiled just like this. You're going to want to cut those. So you'll cut the top and you'll cut the bottom the same way. And then you'll end up with 12 pieces at 14 inches long, or a little bit over. So they're going to vary in size if you do exactly what I just told you. What you want to do is, so this one is definitely varied. It's a lot shorter. See that? So it's fine. I'm gonna just kind of put it in the middle there. It's gonna be totally fine. And then I'm gonna find the center, fold it. Sorry, I missed a piece. One thing you have to do is, well, you don't have to, but one thing you want to do is dovetail the ends of those. So I'm just gonna fold that ribbon, take my scissors, cut on the fold, up towards the edge, so like a diagonal, and then it'll give you that nice V shape there. Okay, then you want to take the small ribbon, put it on top of the larger ribbon, so it's 1.5 on top of the 2.5. You're going to again kind of find the center, fold it, and then we're going to set those aside. So the prep that I already did, again, cut the 20 inches, cut the ribbon, and get those prepared. I got my ribbon for my bow. I'm going to set that aside completely. And then we're going to prep our frame here. Okay. Sorry here. So we have our pipe cleaners. You came with 15 pipe cleaners. You need 12 for the frame, 2 for the sign, 1 for the bow. Okay. Once you get into things and you're doing them a little bit your way, you'll find ways that you like to do things that are a little different sometimes. So you find the rhythm and all that stuff that you like to do. And I'd say go ahead. Oopsie. Ow. It looks like my recording is off. Stopped. There we go. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, add our pipe cleaners right to the frame. So every spot there is a hole that matches a notch. We're going to add that pipe cleaner right to it. Y'all, sorry. After doing so many wreaths, my thumb starts to crack. And I put a fresh Band-Aid on just before I came downstairs, and I've recorded 4 already. And so it's getting a little bit raggedy already. All right, so I'm just going to go where the hole is and bring that pipe cleaner out to the outside notch. I am using 12-inch pipe cleaners from the Hobby Lobby, which are my favorites. They're nice and sturdy. I'm making sure that I'm twist tying like right where the notch is on both the inside and the outside. So it gives it a slightly bigger gap. If I have my tie here and my tie here, there's about 1 inch in between that helps kind of separate them, which is what I'm looking for. Going all the way around here. I'm not going loosey-goosey. I am trying to make sure that the pipe cleaner is laying on and touching the frame. Perfect, just like that. Now my extras I'm going to set aside. So we're going to take our mesh. We're going to start with our mesh. We're going to do the first layer. Okay. First layer of mesh is going to go right on top. Nice pretty black and white. We're going to go right up the top. Okay. We're going to work on our outside pipe cleaners first. Crisscross, nice and tight. Overlap. So this makes the wreath round, the whole wreath round, but still nice and flat, slim between, so that it could fit between your main door, your storm door, your customer's main door, storm door. I keep doing that all the way around. Ruffle right up the center. This is the first time I'm doing an ice blue design. It seems to be pretty popular this year and last year, really. I am making it pretty late in the game for the season, so we're going to see how it goes. Again, this was a kit, so this is the tutorial for the kit. If you are watching our videos and you'd love to be on notifications to get a kit, to get a chance to buy a kit, you want to join our email list. Make sure you're there. getting first dibs on all of our things. It's easy to go to sign up. It's obviously free. You can go to don'tmissemails.com. No apostrophe on that. Don't, just we'll leave it out for the website. Don'tmissemails.com. And then every time we go in here, I'm just going to kind of make sure I'm tucking it kind of underneath those inside pipe cleaners, so I still have them visible, so that when we're ready to put our next layer on, they're not hidden. I don't have to go searching for them. Always overlapping. Now the mesh is a woven material, so it will fray. All the mesh, it's going to fray. Okay, even if you're using that poly burlap mesh and you're using the wood burner, sometimes that still frays. So you just want to be as gentle as possible with it, and then once you get it in, don't play with it. Right? We're going to add our ribbon to the top, and it's going to start to hide and camouflage what is fraying. And then by the end, when you have both your layers on, both your layers of ribbon on, your sign and your bow, you should not notice at all if it's fraying. We're going to add our two ribbons. This happens to be a 1.5 inch and a 2.5 inch. Typically, I do two 2.5 inch ribbons, but this one I just want to be a little different. Just happens to be what I found that works with the design. What I found that I thought was cute, and this stripe ribbon did a whole lot of talking. It has velvet stripes and like a tinsel kind of snowball edge. It's really, really pretty. And so I was like, well, the snowflakes on the small ribbon with the black and white, I thought that was going to be just perfect. So every once in a while, I'll vary from the 2.5 inch ribbons, but it's got to be a really good reason. And for this, I felt like the stripe ribbon did a lot of talking, and they both were just phenomenal. So I felt like we were going to be okay. We'll see what it looks like in just a second here. We want to make sure those are in nice and tight. And I'm twisting this twist tie about 7 or 8 times, just so that there's about 1 inch there. So that when I cut off the excess, it's not gonna, like unravel or anything. And then just having everything prepared and cut ahead of time will help you move along a little bit quicker. So like I pre-cut the mesh and I pre-cut the ribbon, dovetailed those so they're all ready. So once I'm ready to just sit down and start going, it'll move along a lot quicker. Okay, just for the sake of this, not that I have to, but I am going to cut off these excess. And then the next step is very important. We want to make sure we're not missing that next step. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to push that down. So just pushing it forward, and I'm going to take this and pull it apart and pull them apart. So pull them apart up and down, pull them apart side to side. So I'm going to see both of those ribbons fully. Love, love, love that. Really pretty. So again, push that in, pull it apart up and down, side to side, pull it apart up and down, side to side. So pretty. Now, if you bought this as a kit, you can feel that striped ribbon. It's velvet. The stripes are velvet. It's really cool. It's cool to see, and it's cool to touch too. Really nice. So to really fill out that wreath. Now, sometimes when I've selected a 2.5 inch and a 1.5 inch, sometimes I try to put another 1.5 inch in there. For this design, for the kit, I felt like this was plenty, paired with the mesh under here that has a little bit of texture and color and different feel to it. I felt like that was going to be plenty enough. So I didn't add another one, but sometimes I do that. All right, we're going to go right on top with the next one. Okay, our next mesh is going to go right on the top. So it's going to start to overlap the outside layer, and this mesh on the inside layer will overlap itself, which will help to start covering the frame. So no one loves the frame more than I. know you guys have heard this a million times. I'm a co-inventor on this exact frame. The frame was made with my pancake design in mind. So with the 12 twist ties, 12 spots, nice and easy for you to not have to measure or any of those things. Nice, friendly, budget-friendly base for most all of your designs. But your customer is not going to want to see it. I would love to see them all over the place. But your customer is not going to want to see the actual frame. So we have to do our best to hide it. Okay, so I'm still going to overlap. Now, this inner mesh is overlapping each other. So this piece went under here, and now this piece is going over here. So we have a nice overlap going that's going to start to really fill in and hide that frame. Ruffle all the way up the center. All the way, all the way, all the way. Now it might look like I'm kind of manhandling this. I am actually being really gentle. Except for when the edge of the mesh gets caught in my Band-Aid. Now, I'm trying not to play with the ribbon. I will make sure I pull it all out and it is all visible at the very end, but while I'm assembling, I really try hard to not do that. Okay, I just want to make sure that those pipe cleaners are ready for you and they're up, visible. So when you are ready for it, it is ready to go. Now, if you're looking at the camera, that black and white, the color and the pattern, for me, it feels like a whole lot. But you'll see, it'll be just the perfect amount once we're all settled in here. Nice and tight. Just trying to curl all those under, so it helps keep it nice and flat. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go and add our next layer of ribbon. Exactly the same. And I'm going to add it in exactly the same, I was losing this one. Exactly the same pattern. So I went stripes, snowflakes, stripes, snowflakes, stripes, snowflakes. I'm going to do the exact same thing in the center. So that it stays appealing and easy to the eye. I'm going to try to do things just all together so that we pick up our tools once instead of, 12 times. So if I add our ribbon, secure it in, and then go back and cut them all at the same time, then I don't have to pick up my wire cutter that many times. It just saves in time, and when you're making 10 or 15 of these in a day, all those little moments definitely add up. So again, I'm just going to cut off the excess. Not that I have to, because this will all be under a bow or my sign. Perfect. I'm going to do the exact same thing on that inside. Just push it in, pull it apart, up and down, pull it apart, side to side. Pull it apart, up and down, side to side. Now if it starts to do what it wants to do, you got to make sure you go back and tell it who's boss. The 1.5 inch ribbon instead of the 2.5 inch really just, it does all the same things. It does let you kind of show off that mesh a little bit more, because I see that definitely a little bit more than I would normally. Now I'm saying that that's not bad, I'm just saying that. Super cute. Darling. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so remember I said if you don't have a staple gun, I wanted you to prep your sign, so your sign should be ready. We're going to prep our sign with the staple gun. Just going to take that off there. And then, so our sign is 1/4 inch. Our sign is not quite a 1/4 of an inch. And so we need to kind of beef it up a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to use the back of a ribbon spool. It's just a little bit thicker cardboard. So our staple is a 1/4 of an inch, sign almost a 1/4 of an inch. So I just want to give a little bit of padding there to kind of make it a little bit more, make it a little deeper, right? So I'm just going to add pieces. I know this is a little bit weird, but it totally works. Okay, I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. Now, I'm doing it at the top and the bottom because that's how I'm going to put it in the sign. So then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. That's how I'm going to put it in the wreath, I mean. 1, 2, 3. Push nice and hard. Give it a nice, good pressure. Pressure push there. Okay, I might do another one there. There we go. I'm just going to tie this. And then that's going to allow me to push it into the wreath to hide those pipe cleaners, okay? Before we do that, now that I have that prepped and kind of in place, it's going to probably go just about right there. Actually, it's probably going to go about right here. And I want my bow to go right there. I don't want it to be huge. I just want a little bow that's going to cover just right here and just a little bow. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit different there. If you follow our instructions, if you bought this kit, if you follow our instructions, the bow measurements, you'll have just enough for this exact bow. Okay, you'll have just enough for this exact bow. I love the snow globe look. I know you can't see the whole thing yet. I love the snow globe look. It's so cute. Totally darling. All right, we went with a 2.5 inch on the bottom, which I totally love the Swiss dots. Very popular still. Polka dots are always in style. I'll go ahead and dovetail that end. And then this is going to be about 8 inches. We're going to make a little bit smaller bow. This is going to be about 8 inches on the tail and about 5 inches on the loop, on the first loop. Okay, so 8 inches on the tail, 5 inches on the loop. I'm going to pinch, pull it apart, twist, make my next loop about 5 inches. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it. It's a little bit too big. There we go. And then pinch, twist, and another loop. Making sure it's about the same here. And then pinch and twist. Okay, I'm going to have, my tails are going to be a little bit longer and they're all going to go on one end. They're all going to go on one end. Usually I do them kind of mix match. This time we're going to make them go all on one end. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, why not? We're going to do that. All right, so we're going to take our next, let me just give this a cut here. Where's my scissors? Okay, again with the 8 inches. And then a little bit smaller than the 5 inches, just a little bit smaller. Pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop. I didn't want to leave my black and white out of the bow, so I just added that in. I'm just going to place them a little bit different. There we go. Okay, so instead of, usually I do 2 loops on this side, then 2 loops on that side, then we go back and forth. Right now we're just putting all of our loops or we're putting them all the 2 loops at the top, we're just going to reposition where they actually sit. Okay. And our next with that glitter, can't leave the glitter out of the bow, so we're going to go with the glitter. We have the 8-inch, and then a nice little loop on the top, about 2.5 inches or so, and then pinch, pull apart, twist, and then we still need those 3 loops. Pinch, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop, okay. So we're going to go like this and put our 2 loops still up at the top, and then we'll bring this down when we're ready. So I'm going to put this loop over here, that loop over there, that loop's going to go over there, and then that loop is going to go up, okay? It's going to look a little bit weird right now. Now, I have super bad carpal tunnel, and so I am going to use a zip tie because I know my hands will not, oops, I forgot this one. I know my hands will not allow me to keep my pipe cleaner, or tighten my pipe cleaner tight enough. And so I started using the zip ties and this cute little tool here, and it has very much helped me, so I'm going to stick to that for sure. All right, so in order to get this bow up, I got to lift it up just the way it is. Here's the extra pipe cleaner. There we go. I was like, where are we at? So I'm going to lift it up. Now before I get all the way up, I'm going to make sure I kind of push down. Okay, and I'm going to grab my zip tie. I'm sure people in the comments are having a field day with my bandage here. Okay, so we're going to take our zip tie gun. Now, this is just to tighten this and make sure it stays tight. Okay, just to tighten it to make sure it stays tight. Sometimes they pop. Sometimes the zip tie pops. So you can add your pipe cleaner now if you want. I don't know why I had the feeling that this would be the time that it does. So then I'm going to add my, tighten it. So my teeth need to touch the teeth on the zip tie. And then just cuts it off. Okay. So then we're going to take this crazy little mess here. I might leave that one going up. Maybe I will do that. This is just a different bow, maybe. This is just a little different bow, okay. All right, so then we're just going to fluff. I'm going to take my center and put it in the center. So that is going to hide my pipe cleaner. Okay. My pipe cleaners, I don't want to lose them. Put them down here. I think we can do that. Just something a little bit different. It's cute. Super duper cute. I just want to make sure that ribbon goes where I want it to, just like that. Perfect. Darling. And then we're going to position it so that it comes right down off of that, or next to the snow globe, but kind of coming down, right? Instead of going around just one round circle. Now again, your bow, I started at 8 inches and then did 5-inch loops. And then everything went down smaller from there, okay? See? Perfection. Super duper cute. Okay, so we're going to take our sign. Make sure it gets over here and hides that one. Perfect, just like that. I gotta make sure I hide 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to at least hide 4 if I possibly can. So we're gonna take those pipe cleaners. Again, go right through the mesh. This is the tricky part. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Sometimes it can be a total pain. Trying to get my fingers, my chunky little fingers here, between the mesh and the board, the frame, so that I can feel for that. There we go. I can feel for that pipe cleaner. Now instead of tying it tight, I'm just going to tie it enough so that it doesn't come undone, so that I can get it around to the other side and get this top secure before I really secure it. There we go. Nice and easy. There we go. Good job. Sometimes that can just be a total pain. Okay, now I want to make sure I'm going to fulfill my need and cover 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got 5 here actually covering. That's good. Is that going to work? Yeah, it's going to work. Okay. I'm just tying that through. My Band-Aid looks like it's been on for a week. I swear I just put it on this morning. Just going to get that nice and tight here. You don't want those pokey edges out, okay? All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I'm going to add that bow and we will be all done. Darling, just like that. Super duper cute. So I'm kind of, the tails aren't going straight down. They're going to kind of come off to the side. They're going to kind of come off to that side. I did have it. No, I don't let go. No. Like I said, this is the trickiest part. We get this down. And it's just because that pipe cleaner, so pipe cleaners are, it's a wire, but pipe cleaners are 2 wires wound together. So it's not a single wire you're working with. It's 2 wires wound together. And so those 2 wires catch on all the mesh. So it's a little tough, a little tough. There we go. Super duper cute. Just absolutely darling. I love, again, this is my first time doing the ice blue. Totally love it. Turned out really, really cute. Really cute. And this will end up like a little bit long. I'll cut that. There we go. Just perfect. Oh, let me zoom you out here so you can see the whole thing. Super cute. So it goes over that sign just a little bit. Then the last thing I always do, the last thing, is always make sure all of your tails are facing out towards the edge so you can see them all. They're not curled under. You want to make sure they're all, you know, nice and pointy. They didn't overlap. They didn't go back to their natural state like that one. Or make sure it's the way you want it. There we go, just like that. Super cute. I hope that you enjoyed this. A little different on the shape of the sign here. Just absolutely perfect. Hey, I'm Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom. If you don't follow me yet or subscribe to me yet, I hope that you will. Again, if you're interested in wreath kits, we put those out to our email list first, so don't forget to add yourself to our email list. You can go to don'tmissemails.com and add yourself there. If you ever have any questions, you can always text me. It's 810-498-2310. It's my text message. You can do it any day or night, anytime, day or night. It does come to an app on my phone, so it's not going to wake me up, I promise. And I get text messages at all hours of the day. So I'd love to hear from you. And I hope to see you again on our next video. And again, if you're interested in kits, don't forget to be on our email list. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.